So this is Lexi Schmidt from the PACT program at Providence College. Her students just came back from presenting their project-based learning assignment in mathematics in grade 7. Grade 7.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about the whole process of doing the project-based learning activity at a Catholic school with your students.
So the project itself was they were assigned a minimum wage rate, and their question was, is this enough to live off of? And each group, it was groups of 3, I have 21 students total, so 7 groups, they each had a different minimum wage rate. And it was at first easy because they were so excited to do the project that they wanted to find the house and the car and the food all at the same time, so you have to give them very guided worksheets, which is something I learned very quickly. You have to give them step-by-step instructions. But they ran with it, and they did such a good job. They're very creative. They're coming into class saying, Ms. Schmidt, I think we should do this to save money, or I think we should do this, and how about coupons, and how about investing in IRAs? And I was like, go for it.
Yep.
So it was awesome to see them every day coming into class, engaged in the material, and asking if they can stay during lunch to work on it, and yeah, it was a good experience. It's hard, but it was good.
Yeah, from a math perspective, I saw a lot of introduction to variables and applied mathematics and a really rich understanding of percentages and increases and decreases over time and the basic building blocks of your algebra that they're going to be going into very shortly.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about some of the struggles with kind of accessing the content for them in their grade.
It was hard because it didn't seem like they were used to this type of course they weren't used to this type of work. They're used to getting a worksheet in their workbook and doing problem after problem after problem, and so understanding how to do that type of problem but not ever applying it. So this was very different for them in that I said, okay, well, here's a grocery flyer. You need to find the unit rate for each serving. How much does a serving of this food cost? And that was an interesting concept for them to try and wrap their heads around. So that part was difficult, the application part, the critical thinking aspect. But by the end of it, they were coming to me less and asking less, like, oh, well, how do I do this problem? And more trying to figure it out. So at the very beginning, it was difficult. But over the course of the project, they were able to kind of come together as a group instead of coming to Ms. Schmidt every time.
Wow, that reminds me of the whole perseverance and problem solving and the new Common Core.
Yeah.
And you saw that occurring as the more you did it, the more they started to take on that disposition.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. Because when I was watching them present, they seemed very confident up there and very purposeful, and they could talk about numbers with ease, which even with academics, you get them in front of a bunch of numbers, and a lot of people with PhDs have a very hard time, describing numbers, putting understanding behind those numbers. Yeah, that was fantastic.